Okay, so today we'll be talking about public key cryptography. So far, what we have learned is called symmetric cryptography. We've learned the DES, AES, and also RC4. These are three main algorithms. Those are all symmetric. In other words, encryption and decryption, they are both using the same key. This is very straightforward. And you guys probably won't think there's any advantage if you use different keys for encryption and decryption. So today we're going to talk about the concept of asymmetric cryptography. So we actually have some advantage, and then if we use different keys for encryption and decryption, that's a totally new concept. It brings up new ideas and applications for cryptography. Okay, so this is the symmetric crypto system. For encryption, we have a sender and a receiver, right? The sender is usually called Alice, and the receiver is Bob. So Alice sends something to Bob, encrypted with key K, and then this key has to be delivered to Bob. That's a basic concept. So this key is crucial, so it has to be delivered through a secure channel. So the fact that we can decrypt, Bob can decrypt the message, actually depends on the possession of the secure channel. So remember that when we are talking about the Vernon cipher or one-time pad, the problem is the size of the key is as large as the plain text. So that's a problem because this has to be delivered through some secure channel. So if it is as large, the size of the key is as large as the plain text, then you actually don't have any advantage, because that actually means the cost of delivering the secret key is as much as delivering the plain text itself. Okay? So usually this has to be significantly smaller. The key size is small, and then the plain text is much larger as compared to the secret key. So that's the concept of symmetric crypto system. Now, using these crypto systems, let's say we may consider this scenario, group communications. So there's a group of people, let's say there are 5 people, and they want to talk with each other. In this case, they have to, each pair of people, they have to share the same key. So in this case, there are 5 people, then 10 keys are necessary. Okay, and then this grows really significantly because it's on the scale of n squared, where n is the number of people. Okay, according to this formula, the X1 formula. So if there are too many people, like 10,000 people, then there are a lot of keys. Okay, that's a problem. To counter this problem, there is a way called centralized key management. So this is the idea. Okay. So let's say you have a session key. Every time a person wants to talk with another, he or she has to secure a session key. And then the session key is controlled by a centralized server. Okay. So this is the server that everybody believes. And then every time, and then this server also does the bookkeeping function. So this server is trusted by everybody, and then the server knows everything. And then if one party wants to talk with another, he or she has to communicate with the server to secure to acquire a session key. Okay. So then in this scenario, you only need to, each party only has to share a key with the centralized server. So then this will bring down the complexity of the number of keys from the scale of n squared to the scale of n, which is linear. But you have another problem. This problem is called a single point of failure. Okay? And then this can be a performance bottleneck. And then also it's not just a performance bottleneck. It's not just that. It's it's the performance-wise, it's bad, and then also it's a very weak point. Okay, that's the problem. Okay, 这个叫 single point of failure。举例来说，现在光是俄罗斯跟乌克兰的这个战役，对吧？就有一个骇客组织叫做 Anonymous， 那些都是资源的，就在 Twitter 上面。同学可以加，如果同学有用 Twitter 就知道，对他每天就是有公布要攻击的名单，像俄罗斯央行或者什么的啊。然后你是一个 Anonymous， 就自己去认领，你要攻击就攻击，这每天都有，他那个 update 非常快，这就有 single point of failure。对，所以比方说俄罗斯国防部每天都被一大堆骇客攻击，所以说他就完全就不知道这个，就是说他网站通都是被匿名的骇客攻击，就是那个 group 那个 Twitter 群组叫做 Anonymous， 应该有同学知道。那就会有 single point of failure. Okay, so single point of failure can be really serious. Let's say, the weakest part, the ATM network. Okay, if you cannot withdraw money from your bank account, this will be a huge problem. Right? The financial system of a country may break down. 对吧？所以我们最严重的就是什么呢？比方说 ATM 系统。但这种系统通常它不会是连到 Internet 的了，对，因为这种系统它要很高的稳定性，你连到 Internet， 你被攻击一瘫痪，基本上这个就很严重了，对啊，所以说你一被瘫痪，那你的存款一归零，开玩笑，这就是然后基本上叛变的啊，这是很严重的，你可能一夕之间你的这个一生中存的钱就没有了，这叫 single point of failure。所以其实像 ATM 系统，它其实不会只有一台 server 的，啊，所以全台湾的银行它有一个这个 ATM， 就是有一个结算的系统，对不对？它其实有很多台 server， 这都蛮重要的。基本上要办的话，万一说哪个 server 突然停电了，对不对？那个 server 没有备用能源，那它可能电池只能维持1小时，这个时候会有问题。所以像这种大的节点啊。通常它都有很多个备份，我们 ATM 系统至少那个 server 至少5份以上。那像世界性的，比方说像 Google 的 data center， 基本上至少有10个备份 ，Google、Facebook 这些至少10份备份。他们很多 data center 都在一些很安全的地方，像我们叫 Google data center 有一个就在彰滨嘛，就在台湾的那个彰化嘛，为什么是在彰滨呢？因为我们的电便宜啊，因为台湾的电价是不合理的便宜，所以说 Google 就来我们这边投资，然后用我们政府补贴的电，然后养的员工很少，他只养的就是，而且他高阶的员工都不用台湾人，对，高阶员工都是就是他美国自己派来的，就低阶的员工，22K 的那些他去招你台湾，就去招一些台湾人，顶多就招个20-30个而已。然后他说给我们增加就业，对不对？实际上只有20-30个。那最高阶的那种年薪大概那种1000万级的，全部通通都是美国自己派过来的。Okay, so for this type of data servers, they usually have up to 10 backup servers. That is why, let's say you press the like button on the Facebook. Let me tell you, if you do that, it's impossible to erase it, even under nuclear assault. For example, there is a very famous data center located in Sweden. It's located in a cave, and then the cave, they claim that cave can survive from nuclear attack. So there are like 10 of those. 就最有名的那个 Google 那个就是交通交对点嘛，它在一个山洞里面， 那个山洞非常厚，号称说可以挡住核弹攻击，所以你就算是核战爆发，你在 Facebook 上面按一个赞，你也没办法消掉，你知道吗？现实就这样。所以可能同学们几年前，比方说，这个新疆的人权问题，对不对？用这些血汗劳工，按一个赞，我跟你讲，你这一辈子这个记录就会在那地方，永远消不掉。然后那个 Facebook 它会骗你说，为了保护你的账号安全，请你输入你的手机号码，帮助你，如果说是有任何问题没办法 login， 我们可以帮助你取回你的账号。如果输下去就完蛋了哈。我跟各位们讲一下哈，我自己本人啊，我当然是我学这个我比较小心，所以我有5个 Facebook 账号，啊，我大概也有5个 Google， 啊，我账号都很多，然后我地址都乱填的，比方说我 Facebook 的地址我就直接填总统府地址啊，对不对之类的，好，然后手机我填09123527这样。他叫我送一个 SMS 给我，说去 verify， 我就没有办法 verify， 对不对？显然我没有这个电话号码。这个东西我到现在存了，已经过了大概13年了。他还在问我说你的手机号码是不是09123527？这只是个 temporary 的一个东西，我那时候乱 key 的 ，temporary 东西都存在他的那个 server 里面哦。这13年来，我的整个系统已经换了，它不是存到 cache 哦。他把这东西存在他的 data server 里面，你就知道 Facebook 这种东西，是非常的，对啊。So anyway, that's single point of failure. So those data centers. So that is why you guys have to be extremely careful about leaking information. Yeah, because just think about how much those Western tech giants know about you. Okay, number one. Well, maybe now fewer young people still use Facebook because I heard that younger people use Instagram, right? 这个就可能有一点落差了。Anybody uses Twitter? No. Okay. So number 1 is Instagram, right? And then number 2 is is Facebook. And then Google, you have to use Google because if you use if you use your cellular phone, you have to be has to be bound to a Google account. So you have to use Google. And then if you go to many places, right? There's a Google places, and then you go anywhere. You can press the button 打卡. That's a problem because just think about how much Google knows about you. Number 1. Roughly what time you get up and what time you go to sleep, they know. Okay, and then your preference. For example, this guy likes Japanese food. That guy likes Thai food. They know about it because Google Places. You went to these restaurants, and then the area that you usually visit. I mean the range of your of your activity, yeah. So they know this much about you, and then the many others, your preference, okay, your political point of view. So they really know a lot about you, right? 所以这个就是非常厉害，其实他们都知道，对，你的偏好啊，对不对？好，然后。所以呢，这是为什么？比方说之前一个很有名，比方说那个之前那个宾拉登是怎么被击杀的，同学知道吗？因为宾拉登是 CIA 训练的嘛，好，然后这个可能不是每个同学都知道，就是宾拉登是苏联入侵阿富汗的这个时候，苏联入侵了阿富汗，就是阿富汗呢是一个鸡不生蛋鸟不拉屎的一个国家，然后它太远了，它离全世界各个主要的文明都非常的远，那所以说呢，凡是这历史上只要打过阿富汗的，全部都是就是下场都很惨，所以叫做帝国坟场，一打了就垮，包含苏联打了最后就直接解体嘛。然后呢， 那苏联以前投资非常多的这个资源在阿富汗，他扶植了一个政府。那所以说那个扶植一个在1979年的时候，那1978年的时候，阿富汗曾经是一个短暂的一个共产主义国家。对啊，那个时候的阿富汗是相当美好的。79年的时候，阿富汗的这个老二老大是总统，然后老二就副总统，把总统给干掉了。啊，那个总统是亲俄的，结果这是就震惊的这个苏联，结果就派一支突击队把他干掉了，把他干掉。干掉了之后，后来那个就是首都就被干掉，他只花了3天时间。可是后来后来那个苏联的军队就没办法离开阿富汗，为什么呢？因为呢，只要一离开，马上就叛变，就会变成这样子的事情。后来呢，美国就秘密的训练一些反对训练一些游击兵，就是要去对抗阿富汗的政府。在1979年，其中最重要的一号人物就是奥萨马·宾拉德，他本来是一个非常有钱的一个富商，然后他就去带领所谓的圣战，所以说 CIA 就有一个 special program 去训练这宾拉德。所以以前训练的就教你怎么开枪啊，然后怎么发射这个火箭弹啊，就是全部 CIA 训练。所以宾拉登完全知道 CIA 他到底是怎么样。那后来苏联解体之后，后来这个 CIA 跟这个宾拉登带领这个基地组织就反目了嘛，后来就变成开始有各种恐怖袭击，其实就是美国养了一只讲白了，就美国养了一只老虎去把苏联咬死了，对，咬死之后就那只老虎开始不受控，开始把这个世贸大楼给炸了呀，然后炸领事馆啊什么的。好，这个不多讲。但是美国他其实因为 CIA 的那个 program， 他有拍了很多的这个训练的那个影片，所以他知道宾拉登是谁吧。然后呢，就把那个影片去做 AI 的分析嘛，他就是说从这个他走路的这个步态去分析，所以他就有一个程式专门在做这个 pattern recognition， 就是人走路的时候你的手怎么摆，你每一个人走路你手摆动的幅度以及你的身高都不一样。那些 data 都被 CIA 存在一起，他就去 train。然后呢，所以真正为什么宾拉登会被击杀？第一个最主要原因就是因为宾拉登他太小心了，他完全知道 CIA 的那一套，因为他是 CIA 训练出来的。所以说宾拉登他们所有的交易全部都是付现的，买房子对不对？2亿现金直接 cash， 没有再给你贷款。当然了，你贷款就知道你的钱来源是哪里，你的 account 是什么，对不对？所以他那些基地组织的那些 account 都是很重要的资源，不随便给人家知道的，所以都付现。然后呢 ，CIA 最厉害的一点，他是会去看你的那个垃圾，这点是非常厉害，因为你的垃圾反映了你的生活状况。所以只要对 CIA 来讲，他今天找你麻烦，先去收集你的垃圾，研究一下，就大概就知道你吃什么，对不对？你每天吃汉堡、薯条、可乐，那你会有这些垃圾，对不对？他就可以估计你这个人大概血糖可能有问题，身高可能，对不对？你的这个你会有哪些方面健康问题，他们都知道。那其实 KGB 也是其实 KGB 也干这个事情，大家都干这个事情。大家知道毛泽东从来没有出过国，一辈子没有离开中国，唯一一次就是去访问莫斯科。反正莫斯科那时候史达林是把他当小学生来看，毛泽东是完全被史达林扶植起来的。好，那他进了莫斯科之后呢，这个史达林完全冷冻他2个礼拜，就2个礼拜不理他这样子，就是有点就是这样表示我是大头，然后蔑视你，给你一点颜色瞧瞧，就让他待在 hotel 里面。那他那个 hotel 当然是24小时监控的嘛，其实那个毛泽东他也知道，可是他那里面最厉害的一点就是说呢，他的那个 hotel 的毛泽东住的房间的那个水电管线是特别接的，他的马桶直接接到一个他就是说那个 hotel 的马桶，他把他的粪便全部集中到一个专门的实验室，一个当时俄罗斯很有名的一个叫做大便实验室的东西，专门分析你大便。所以他一看就说，发现毛泽东这个他吃的东西都是很软，因为他牙齿不好，都吃什么？所以毛泽东喜欢吃什么？这个东坡肉都是软的东西，没有任何硬的，所以他就知道他牙齿不好。 知道这个方面的问题。莫斯科那个大便实验室是非常有名的，就分析那 CIA 他就去分析他的那个垃圾嘛，然后就发现那个巴基斯坦首都伊斯兰马巴德的那个近郊有一个很大的一个宅院，很奇怪，它里面竟然没有垃圾，他就觉得很怪，为什么会没有垃圾？一个很大的一个宅院啊，对不对？因为宾拉登他太小心，他交易用现金，然后他自己的住的地方里面自己设一个焚化炉，对，所有的垃圾直接在他的自己焚化炉直接焚化掉，因为他知道 CIA 他们去收他的垃圾，他没有想到他没有垃圾也是问题。其实他没有做假垃圾，就是让他致命的原因。你应该要造一些假垃圾 ，fake garbage， 他没有想到这一点。结果后来就是美国就发现了，一个规模这么大的一个大宅院，竟然没有任何的垃圾，他觉得很怪，然后就开始去盯那个地方。但是他不知道那个里面住的是谁，只知道这个人一定是很大咖的这样子，所以基本上是这样子。然后后来就跟监很久，他就派那个无人机去用红外线去照嘛，就是那个夜视镜那种去照，就发现里面有一个人啊，身高大约190，然后走路的幅度，对不对？他就去，那个人从来不会出来过，所以他卫星拍不到，他的空拍机也都拍不到，从来拍不到那个人。然后决定很到底是谁，然后去分析他的步态，发现刚好就 match 比他的，最后就派海豹直接去把他干掉了，基本上就这样子。就基本上是这样，所以这就是美国厉害的地方。So anyway, so this is what actually happened. They know about the walking patterns of Osama bin Laden. Finally sent the troops to assault him. Okay, so asymmetric or public key crypto systems was proposed in 1976. So this is really a while ago. Actually, I was born in 1976. So this concept is as old as I am. It has some surprising functionalities, capabilities. And it's asymmetric because those who encrypt the message may not be able to decrypt. So that's something really special. So in other words, how to make the system work? Okay. How to make the system? The sender and receiver may be different, and then the one who encrypts the message may not be able to decrypt. Okay. So you don't have to have a secure channel. Let's say you have let's say Bob can use two keys. One is for encryption, the other is decryption. And then Bob can just give Alice the encryption key. So Alice takes the encryption key and encrypts the message and sends to Bob. But Alice herself cannot decrypt it because Alice doesn't know anything about the decryption. So that can enable this type of functionality. So in other words, you don't have to have a secure channel anymore because the encryption key can be released via an insecure channel, which is essential. Okay. So it uses two keys, a public key and a private key. So it is asymmetric because those parties are not equal. And it uses clever applications, so not just encryption and decryption. This pair of keys can be used in other scenarios as well, other than encryption and decryption. It can be used to, for example, digital signature, which is really important. So it complements private key cryptography. It does not replace private key cryptography. It complements. So this is another diagram. We have a source A and destination B. So Alice and Bob, right? So Bob has a private key. This is key pair. This key pair is generated by Bob. Okay, so this is the public key. This is a private key. Okay, public key and private key. This is a key pair. So this is public key can be given to the source via an insecure channel. Okay, and then so those who encrypts may not be able to decrypt. So that's, and then the message will be decrypted only by the person who generates the private key. And then such properties can be used to achieve at least these three different types of applications. We know about encryption, decryption. This is traditional one, and then we have digital signatures as well, and then also key exchange. And then there are actually many others as well. For example, like many others. For example, like interactive proof or something like that. Wow, we may talk about that later. And there are some algorithms that are suitable for all uses. For example, RSA. There's a RSA encryption decryption algorithm. There's a RSA digital signature. There's a RSA key exchange. Those three types. And there are others. There are only there's some of them. There's only one or two. There's some algorithm. For example, the Diffie-Hellman key exchange. It's just the key exchange alone. It cannot be used in any other applications. This is just another diagram. So to make this work, public key, everybody has to have a key pair. This key pair is given by those people you intend to send a message to. The key pair, the keys in this key ring. I'm sorry, not key pair. Key ring. This key ring. They're collected from individual parties, and they can be sent in via insecure channel. So you can just maintain this, and then whenever you want to send a message to somebody, you just locate his or her key, encryption key, and then you send. Only the receiver, the person who generates that key can decrypt it. Okay, and the security relies on a huge difference between encryption and decryption. So encryption you need you need less information, but decryption you need a lot more information. And in those information, their relationship is hard. And then usually there's a large difference in difficulty between an easy operation and hard operation. So the easy operation is if you possess some secret key, then the operation is easy. If you don't, then you have to waste a lot of time to trying to find the key. So that's related to cryptanalysis. Usually it's a really hard problem. And then there are some types of mathematical problems that are suitable for this type of thing. And then that really depends on the problem. But anyway, no matter what the problems are, there should be a huge difference between easy and hard mathematical problems. Okay. So it's similar to private key schemes. The brute force exhaustive search is theoretically possible, but it will take really long. Okay. Most likely it requires the use of a very large numbers. So that's the reason why in the beginning of this course, I give you guys an assignment 1 to practice these large numbers. Okay. So a public key algorithm relies on 2 keys having these properties. Number 1, computationally infeasible to find decryption key, even though you know the encryption key. So the relationship between the encryption key and decryption key should be difficult. So even though you possess the encryption key, theoretically the best algorithms. They are designed in a way that you can't take advantage of those, the knowledge of the encryption key to derive the decryption key. Okay? And also, it's computationally easy to encrypt messages when the relevant key is known. Okay? If you have the decryption key, then it should be computationally easy to decrypt. Okay? And then the two related keys to be can be used for encryption. Yeah, but with the other used encryption, okay? But for decryption, you cannot take advantage of that. So this is just another diagram. We've seen that. Why are we using public key cryptography? So initially, we can use, initially though they are used for encryption and decryption, but it can be used for key distribution and key signature. So the key distribution is this problem. Secure channel. You have to find a way to distribute the secret key to the receiver, right? Using symmetric cryptography. So public key crypto systems can be used in this case to establish a secure channel. That's important. So you can use public key cryptography to establish a secure channel because public key cryptography does not require any secure channel at all. And then the other thing is it's usually not very efficient because it uses really large numbers. And then the performance of a public key algorithm is usually much lower than the symmetric key. The difference is huge. It's huge. So most likely public key crypto systems, even for encryption, they're not used directly to encrypt messages because it's slow. So instead, you use that to do key distribution. And then once you have the once you solve the key distribution problems, you can go ahead and then use symmetric cryptography. For example, like the HTTPS, okay, we use SSL, TLS. In that protocol, most likely you use RSA to distribute keys. And then for the actual encryption, they use AES in this case because AES is fast. Okay. So that's the key distribution, and also digital signature. So this is kind of like you have an ID card to show that you're the authorized user of something. So you have some you have some privilege to do something. This is important. So how to verify a message that comes from the client server, and which is also intact. It hasn't been messed with. Okay. So this makes e-commerce possible. So for any e-commerce, if you don't have this secure channel to deliver the encryption key, then let's say you want to buy something online, okay? 假如说要去虾皮买东西，你必须要有一个 secure channel 嘛，对吧？那个 channel 可以很小。So let's say if you don't have any secure channel, what you should do? If you want to buy something, then you probably have to go to Shopee store to register. So you have to pay a visit, right, to set up the keys before you do any shopping. Right? If that's the case, who will buy things on Shopee? Because that's too inconvenient, especially for older people, right? So public key cryptography makes this possible. For anything, there are many others as well. Okay, if you just buy these little things, that is usually fine. Yeah, but I mean for bank accounts, if you want to withdraw money or transfer money, the security may not be enough. Usually, banks they require that you pay a visit to initiate because the amount of money involved in the transaction may be huge。好，通常银行不会让这样子，对，因为这种东西它不是它的安全性有没有错，但是银行如果额度太高的话，你一旦出了问题，这可能银行要认列亏损的，比较麻烦，所以银行不会让你这样。一般银行就是叫你要说你要让你这个有这个设置网络银行什么，你要么就是去它，要么就是叫它寄封这个保密信封寄到你家，给你一个一次性的密码什么的，然后你要自己去设，对不对？一般来说是这样，要不然的话其实是很麻烦。So anyway, this makes e-commerce possible for smaller amount of money, like you this online shopping, this is possible, right? 对啊，那太大额的这种东西其实是不行的。对啊，那当然有时候会有一些噱头啦，哈，就是说有时候买一些非常奇怪的东西，还有像 e-commerce 像那个暗网那些军火都在那边交易的，哈，对，顺便提一下哈，我们照这个，我讲说这军火这交易举例来说，比方说乌克兰就卖了很多军火，因为他们都很穷到爆，然后当然是那个俄罗斯也是卖了很多军火，那个军火是很吓人。像乌克兰之前，他们曾经找到一个，就说接获线报，就是说，某一个中年的妇女，她家里有很多军火，就一进去，警方一查扣，哇塞，60几颗火箭弹在她家里，那你搞那么多火箭弹干嘛？对啊，这很可怕，因为他是有小孩在当兵，那当兵的薪水太低了啊，然后苏联一解体，那就把那些军火拿来卖，而且卖是什么东西都能卖，连坦克都能卖啊。而且我们不要讲坦克哈，我讲一个比较手动的，这个连俄罗斯也是。俄罗斯呢，他们就是有一次他们因为他不是我之前跟同学讲过，乌克兰不是交了1200多颗核弹嘛，对不对？俄罗斯还把他那个核弹清点一下，花了快要20年去清点他们的核弹，要把它缴回啊什么的。后来亲眼发现少了200颗核弹。那200颗核弹到哪里去了？暗网可以买到核弹，你相信吗？真是很夸张。对，其实台湾本来要买的，对，只是，其实乌克兰那一批1200颗核弹，台湾非常想买。对啊，然后呢，乌克兰的那个南方造舰局生产的那有一个军舰已经退役了，被中共给买走了。大家知道嘛？所以就后来变成辽宁号嘛，那就是乌克兰的南方设计。那一台那个辽宁号本来是被一个香港的爱国商人说他要标下来买，他只花了不知道是200万还是300万美金。他说买下来我要当一个那个餐厅，就是像那个香港那个什么珍宝啊，那个叫什么Jumbo 你在上面可以去参与，他弄一个像博物馆一样，然后大家可以在那个航空母舰那边吃饭，然后买下来花了不知道200-300万美金，后来就被中共再转卖回去。原本是因为这个理由的，所以说，可惜当时台湾没有把它买下来。当时台湾如果聪明一点，把那一台买下来的话，我就说，我要来成立一个博物馆，然后摆在台中港好，对不对？如果台湾聪明的话，当时因为这是民间买的，他就不能拒绝嘛。如果民间把它标下来。当时把那爱国商人，香港爱国商人花了200万，我们刷10倍，2000万美金，看卖不卖。如果当时台湾买下来的话，好，这可以严重的让中国大陆的这个造船工业落后台湾。好，我们今天讲到这边。